3 main tasks that need to be accomplished by those who have the number 1 in their date of birth. First and foremost, this applies to those born on the 1st, 10th, 19th, or 28th, as well as to those born in the 1st month, January, and the 10th month, October. But I would also add a very significant year here, which is 1981. In that year, 2 strong ones are duplicated in the date of birth. And also the universal one that we all have in the year. So even if you have only 1 in your date of birth, which is in 1900 something, this video is still for you, because for all of us in the 20th century, this task was set. So 3 important tasks that people with a 1 in their date of birth need to accomplish for their development. This is Andrey Tkalenko with you, and today we will analyze these characteristics using the example of the positions of the cells in the universal numerological matrix. In front of you is the numerological matrix, and you can see that the position of the number 1 is the beginning of the material level. Here it is, and accordingly you can see that the development of the main 1 goes along 3 levels in 3 directions. Well, let's start, of course, with the material level. Where can the 1 develop in the material level, and how do we look at this? The material level leads to the number 3, that is, the main characteristic is the number 1. This is I am a personality. And what's more, for once, it's very important. This is also intellect. All those who have the number 1 are definitely carriers of a very strong intellect. And intellectual development is the top priority for people who have strong ones. The professional direction and the ways in which one can develop at the material level. Well, first of all, it's planning, learning to plan your actions. Often the number 1 is said to represent leaders. But in order to become a leader, it's very important to learn these things. These 3 things. The first is to value yourself on the material level, because the 1 truly opens up the entire matrix. But we start with the material level. It's about valuing yourself materially, that is, becoming a specialist in your profession. To begin with, on the everyday level, we see that the number 3 is, first of all, about creativity, unconventional thinking, and ideas. Very often, the number 3 is associated with planning and finances. That's why people who have a 3 are often very good accountants. So, for example, 7s are financiers and so on. That's why the first area for development is here, especially if you have 3s in your date of birth. This is an excellent and primary task. We move in this direction, learning to live in the material world. The task is to value ourselves. It's very important to learn to do everything step by step, gradually, planning and thinking through your goals and tasks. As someone born on the 10th, I can say from my own experience that I often made impulsive decisions. And until I learned to work consistently, I had ups and downs. I think many people with strong ones in their charts will confirm this as well, especially those who don't have any numbers on the material level. For example, on the material level, I only have 1s. Of course, it depends on the quantity, but that's a topic for another video. But for me, aside from 1s, I don't have any other numbers on the material level. And naturally, you need to start from positions in the material world. And of course, 3 is about working with finances. You absolutely have to learn this. The next direction. This is about the 9. 9, of course, is management, it's psychology. Here, we also add intellectual development, meaning 9 represents the head. So here we include the transfer of knowledge. If we take, say, the year 1900 or so, we all had 1s and 9s, and the task for all of us was to use our heads. One of the tasks is to grow from a small 1 into a big 9, that is, to reach a state of wisdom. And the second area of development is for the carriers. The number 1 is the movement along this diagonal towards the 9. For example, we started here or have already taken root here. Then the next step is here. In other words, we are moving upward. At this point, you are both a good specialist and a person who manages others. And 9 also means the transfer of knowledge. So in other words, we become a good specialist along the way here. We capture the 5 here, learning to communicate, learning to share our knowledge, learning to convey information about what we can do. First of all, about ourselves, about what I can do, about what I am capable of to people on the level of consciousness. 9 is a symbol of consciousness, 9 is a symbol of wisdom, and 9 is a symbol of passing on this knowledge. But in order to pass on knowledge, the conclusion is that first we stabilize ourselves, then we move up to the next level where we can already broadcast what we know, what we have learned. Goals can change with age. We consider different periods, and accordingly, goals can change as we get older. And here, a person has already reached the point where they can pass on this knowledge. And now I want to invite you to my webinar on numerology, where we will look at how numbers manifest in your date of birth, specifically in your date of birth, at what age certain positions are active, when the day, month, or year is significant, and what you should pay special attention to. And of course, I will tell you how to become a professional numerologist and earn a good, decent income by helping people, by truly helping them with quality guidance. Be sure to register for the webinar and join us. The link is in the description of this video. And the third direction is movement along this column. That is, along the 11, along the technology. This is no longer just intelligence. It's ideas. It's a symbol that I am constantly moving forward, growing. Here, for example, if we look at one of the strongest representatives of people with strong ones, it's, for instance, Pavel Durov, 1010. That is 2 ones amplified by a 0. He would have 2 more zeros here as well. 1s amplified by a 0. So, in order to create systems, what do you need first? To stabilize yourself on the material level. And in addition, the ideas that a person developed, that they learned. Next, technology. There you go, yes. 1, straight up. Everyone who carries the number 1 needs to understand that moving upward is like going from the very bottom, like from our feet, yes, from our souls, all the way to the top of the head. And in addition, to go beyond the limit, yes, to reach the next level of your development. It's like we break through, we pass all this through the body, all of our centers, and we rise to the very top, to the very crown, and even look beyond. Take, for example, Durov. He went beyond the limit with one project. Something didn't work out, so he moved on to the next one. And if something went wrong, he kept moving forward. And there you have it. Technologies, ideas that are realized in the material world. Yes, we all use them now. We use messengers and even the social network system that was created by a person. But besides that, but in addition to everything else, you also need to be able to present and convey the meaning of this 9. There is also another very important factor there. Yes, where 22 is manifested. And in this matrix, as we continue to study, you will see where 22 is located. Yes, so this is another very important point. And here, the person has come to understand the meaning and purpose behind why this is being done. That is, when a person communicates with thoughts, it turns out that the power inherent in the number 1 is transmitted into the material world. It is broadcast into the world. Ideas about technologies, everyone may have their own. For example, I have the number of technologies, or rather technology itself, is manifested in numerology. The fact that we create these systems, for example, the universal numerological matrix, is a truly unique system that was born out of my own more than 15 years of experience. After studying psychomatrices, after researching the Phillips matrices and various other systems, this one was born. You know, when you discard everything unnecessary, everything that doesn't work, and the new level emerges for you. It's like a breakthrough in numerology. Just like in any other system, astrology, any everyday system, that's how devices we use appear, like phones. Everything comes about this way. Absolutely everything is born from what was once created before, and something new emerges. And so, for example, you can take the example of Pavel Durov and apply it to any other area, to your own personal life, and see what you can do in the material world, what you have achieved, whether it satisfies you. If not, then what can I improve or complete on the material level? What ideas can I bring there? How can I create a new idea in my work? And how will I explain it to people? How will I convey the meaning? This is exactly what people with strong ones need to master. Write in the comments if you have ones. Where are they located? Is it in your birth date, in your birth month, or maybe in your birth year? For example, as I mentioned, in the year 81. Write what you do and how far you've progressed, or if you have any movement, or if you have ideas on how to advance the work you're involved in. Be sure to register for the Numerology Webinar and attend it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Share this video on social media. And of course, no matter what, subscribe to our channel and to our other social media accounts. All the links are in the video description. Also, subscribe to our Telegram channel. Well, it's time for me to say goodbye. See you next time.